Welcome to Late Night Riders. I'm Gretchen, and I'm joined by my mom, Kristen, my grandma, Debbie, and Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi.
Hi.
Lauren, can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with horses?
Yeah, of course. My mom and my older sister both ride horses, and a couple other people actually in our family as well. So
Mhm.
I grew up riding, taking pony rides, and started taking lessons as well. My sister rode competitively in middle school and high school. And I'm 7 years younger than her. So I was pretty young, just getting like carted along to the barn. So I, of course, started riding. But then when she left for college, I just didn't have a ride to the barn anymore and just kind of stopped riding. And it took me until my senior year of high school to start riding again. And I was kind of trying to get back into it the whole time, but with the cost and it was hard to find somewhere near us that was the right place for me. It just never really happened with being in high school and everything. So I was really excited to get back into it my senior year of high school. And then I joined the team at the University of Delaware my freshman year there, and I did that all through college. So it's been great. I'm really glad that I got back into it.
And so you started your business your senior year of college. How did that start, or what made you decide to start a business?
It was actually based off of that long break I took from riding. I was on the team, and we typically take one or two lessons a week, I felt like it was really hard for me to improve just taking one lesson or two lessons a week with like a different horse or pony every time. But I really, really wanted to improve, and I felt like frustrated that like I had so much motivation, but I just like couldn't do anything about it because there wasn't a way for me to take more than two lessons a week as a college student. And this was all during my freshman year. So I started getting really into fitness, and I realized that I could do workouts in the gym that would improve my riding, like really focus on my core. And I would take what my trainer was saying in my lessons and try and find exercises that would help fix those bad habits, like find out like what muscles am I using improperly that are causing me to pinch with the knee and my lower leg to swing. So I got really interested in that, and then I eventually got certified as a personal trainer to learn more about fitness and um, training other people. And that just kind of like turned into the Fit Equestrian.
Had you exercised really before that? I know you said you became a certified trainer, but I mean, had you thought about exercise prior to that, or was this just something that, like you said, you decided, I can't, this isn't enough, or?
I had already been going to the gym pretty frequently. It was unrelated, but I did getting into fitness pretty much the exact same time that I started riding again, senior year of high school.
Okay.
So I think because I kind of had those two interests that started at the same time, I think that helped because like they kind of meshed together. And then I also started getting really interested in nutrition and how that played a role in sports performance. So I ended up majoring in nutrition to get that education. And I felt like the Fit Equestrian was the best way for me to combine all of my passions into one. And I had no idea what I wanted to do like as a job going into college. Like I didn't know what major to choose. I changed my major like 10 times. And I really like happy I ended up coming up with this idea and that it's become successful because I'm able to do all these different things. Like I'm not just working in advertising or just working in design or just working in finances. Like I'm able to do everything, and it's about fitness, nutrition, and horses, which I'm passionate about all those things too. So I feel really lucky.
It's a lot, and you took on a lot. That's a lot to
Yeah.
to kind of, yeah, the faceted, and you've done a good job with it. That's very good.
Thank you.
So was it
I
a
hope
slow
so.
growth, or was it almost immediate when you started your business?
It was pretty slow. I started it as like very much a hobby. It was almost kind of like more like a blog at first. And then slowly I started to realize I never, when I first started, intended for it to be my career. It was just like a fun thing I was doing on the side. And it wasn't until like came up with the idea and started it very casually. I believe it was the winter of my sophomore year of college. And I didn't decide that this was going to be my career until fall of my senior year. So it was pretty much like a side thing. It was making a profit, but it was like, I was like, I'll do this on the side. I'll get a real job. And then I realized like I have a real job. I don't want to go work for someone else when I can do this and grow this even more.
Wow, what a blessing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I just have to say,
I
isn't that
know.
wonderful? Like you worked right into that and it was exactly what you did. How nice is that?
Yeah, I know.
So,
I do feel really lucky. And I feel lucky that I had people in my life that encouraged me to go for it and try this. Um, because a lot of people were saying, you should get an office job, do something, have a stable
Right.
salary, and keep doing this on the side. And I just felt like
Mm-hmm.
this had so much momentum. And if I didn't go with it now and put everything into it now, that it was just going to die, or someone else was going to do the same thing and do it better. So I was like, might as well just go with it.
Good for
Right.
you.
so after college, how did that change? Did you, because you obviously had more time, so did it build up like quicker once you graduated, or was it still a pretty slow growth?
It felt like a slow growth because my course load kind of like decreased as college went on. So it kind of like the business work grew and the coursework went down. So it kind of slowly grew up to the amount of work that I do now. Um, but, and I also actually technically graduated a semester early or finished all my coursework early, but I stayed at college. So that was kind of a nice transition because I was doing the business full time, but still at college. So then once I graduated, I, moved into my house that I'm at now. And now this is my full time job. But it doesn't feel like, it's kind of like the amount of work fits the amount of time that you have. Like, it doesn't feel like the business has grown so much since then, which it has grown a lot since then, but it feels more like, the work expands to fit the time.
So let's talk about the business itself.
Yeah.
You blog, and then you also offer fitness advice. Could you talk a little bit more about the different things that you offer?
Yeah, so we offer a variety of different digital fitness programs and nutrition programs as well. They're all digital PDFs. So after purchase, you get a download link and the document downloads to your computer and you can print it out, or you can view it on your computer, or you can view it on your phone. All the fitness programs have photo instructions and written instructions for all the exercises. I think people find them pretty easy to follow. Especially it's nice to like be able to have something on your phone in the gym instead of having to print it out or memorize something. And it's definitely a lot more cost effective than working with like a personal trainer. And all of the exercises are designed specifically for riders. So we try and target certain habits and muscle groups that are commonly used in the saddle. Like a lot of focus is on the core. But yeah, I think it's very convenient. And I think that's something people really like about it. We try and make programs that use no equipment or just minimal equipment exercises you can do at home, because we know like a lot of people don't have time. Like I have a gym membership and I feel like I never, not never, but like rarely get the chance to go because it's 15 minutes away. And I feel like if I ride 3 horses a day, I'm like, I can't get out there. Like with working full time and riding in the mornings, I'd rather just do a quick 15-20 minute workout on the floor of my office here than drive all the way to the gym. And I think it's just about like finding what works for you in like the time that you have and for your goals.
Which
Makes so much
you
sense,
offer
yeah.
no excuse 15-minute
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
no
No
equipment, your
excuses.
floor and yourself, and so there's
Yeah,
no
exactly.
excuses.
Right.
How many times a week would you do something like that if you're only doing 15 minutes a day?
I think it definitely depends like how much you're riding and what you're doing, what else you're doing throughout the week. I think if you ride like most days a week, I would say doing something like 3 to 4 times a week, but I do feel like it's really different for everyone. And it's also like depending on what your goals are. Like if your goals are to like be a lot more competitive and show and get really strong, your goals are going to be different than someone who is just riding for fun and wants to stay in shape.
Did you find that were people coming to you once you started to talk about it, and did you have like a certain type of rider that was coming to you, or was it just all different kinds of riders that was actually coming to you to ask you about good plans for them?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think it is a wide variety of riders, but I see like they kind of fall into a couple pretty clear groups. One group is like the beginner rider who can only take one lesson a week and doesn't have their own horse and but really wants to improve, like similar to where I was when I started the business. Like really motivated, but just like without the means to ride 5 horses a day every day a week, which is very fair. So there's that rider. Then there's like the competitive junior rider who has multiple horses, shows every weekend, but is still really driven to improve even more and have a competitive edge. So they usually like to do something I usually recommend for really competitive riders who already ride a lot and show a lot. I usually recommend like more of a focus on nutrition, and like stretching and recovery work. And of course, like some cross training and some exercising, but I usually like think it's important not to overwork yourself as well. So that's what I usually recommend for those riders. And then like the next group is like amateur riders. Like maybe they rode as children, they're just starting to ride again. They've had kids and they're riding a couple days a week, but they are looking for something to give them a boost as well. So I feel like those are the main 3 groups. There's of course exceptions, but that's what I've seen patterns of in the past.
Do you feel that there's like a common thing, like thread that you find with people when you talk to them and you have to kind of bring them to a place that helps them? Or do you feel like they're kind of, like you've got exercise, nutrition, all kinds of things that you're helping people with? Is there anything that you feel is a common thread of balance of some sort?
I do feel like most people, my recommendation, like obviously there's other recommendations I would give, but a recommendation that I give to pretty much everyone is like focusing on your core, focusing on stretching or foam rolling, like just recovery work in general, and focusing on like in terms of nutrition, like just eating like lots of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, just like eating real whole foods, and instead of focusing on like a certain type of diet or a number of calories or anything like that, I usually try and recommend like a whole foods nutrition approach.
Okay.
So if you have somebody who's in college and both of my daughters have been in college and it's tough, the food choices were tougher for them, what would you suggest to somebody in college?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, you cut out for a second. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, the food choices in college, when you're on a campus and you have the food plan. Both of my daughters have been in school and have had a difficult time with the food plans that they've had. So what would you suggest to them?
Yeah, that's a really tough one. I definitely struggle with that. I actually was on a gluten-free diet for all of college because I was having trouble with that. But that was really difficult for me to find healthy options in the dining hall because it was already limited to what I could eat. And then on top of that, there weren't that many healthy options. I was lucky. I remember my freshman dorm was near one of the new food dining hall things. And they did have some good options. I ate a lot from the salad bar, but I always made sure, I think like that definitely gets boring, but making sure you include like a protein source, like if there's like a tuna or like grilled chicken, some sort of proteins or a hard-boiled egg. But yeah, that's usually a good option if there's not anything else. But yeah, I think also like picking and choosing things from different like stations, I guess, like if you can find like a roasted vegetable and like a brown rice or quinoa or something like that, and then a piece of grilled chicken or a piece of fish. I think that's the best way to go, but that definitely is a challenge. And even like, having stock of like healthy snacks and things like that in your dorm room, like maybe they can go buy like some yogurts or some hard-boiled eggs or oatmeal, stuff like that. That's what I did, a lot of that. Trying to keep as much healthy things as I could in the little mini fridge in my dorm room. But it's definitely a challenge to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I did eat a lot of oatmeal in college.
I had that for breakfast every morning.
I was I found out I was allergic to dairy partway through college, and that was part of the reason I was getting so sick. And so trying to find dairy-free options in the South was very difficult.
Yeah.
And I think there are more like food allergy things that come up and makes it tougher for college people to try to find, with the food programs and that type of thing. But that's so good that you can direct them and tell them other alternatives. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that's helpful.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So what's new for you? What's coming up in the next year? What are your goals for 2020? And where is the Fit Equestrian going?
I think we're going, so we have some apparel right now, but one of our goals for 2020, maybe 2021, depends on how things go, but creating a line of athletic apparel that can be worn from the gym to the barn, and just day-to-day life. But I think creating something that's really functional, our customers have really enjoyed the apparel and other merchandise options that we've had, almost as much as they buy our programs. So I think that will be really popular among this customer base of people that have an active lifestyle and ride frequently and go to the gym frequently. I think they'll really enjoy like a really quality athletic apparel line. So that's something we're starting to work on now. Hopefully maybe by the end of 2020 or early 2021. But yeah, that's something I think it like meshes perfectly with our brand. It's like exactly who we are.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll enter our next segment, Canter Banter.
Our next segment, Canter Banter, is brought to you by Ramm Horse Fencing and Stalls, the one-stop shop for your horse farm. Ramm is family-owned and operated and has been in business for over 30 years. We welcome you to call in and speak with an expert about your next project today at 866-653-8984. Again, that's 866-653-8984.
Okay.
All right. So you were thinking about doing a recipe for this, or did you think of a story from riding, or?
I did not think of a story for writing, but I can do a recipe. We posted an Instagram TV of this. Let me see if I can find the recipe.
Is it going to remain?
Of like they're like an energy ball thing, and that actually would be something good for someone in a dorm, because like you don't have to bake them, and I think you could easily get all those ingredients like on Amazon.
That's a good idea.
We just pull up the recipe.
Can I ask you how often you get to ride now? I wanted to ask you that during this.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut in, but do you get to ride?
Yeah.
Much?
I ride like 5+ days a week. I have my own horse right now, and I actually live 2 minutes from the barn.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I usually I usually ride some other horses as well, or I ride at a big pony barn, small ponies.
Busy
so
girl. I'm
only 5'2". I mean, it's like I don't have to ride that much, but I do like to.
We're short too. We're like the 5'2"ers. I'm thinking I'm the tallest out of you girls.
I'm 5.
Yeah, I'm 5.
Yeah,
almost 5'3". I'm the tallest. I think.
My God.
So, yeah, we're all.
Yeah,
littles.
So I fit on the small ponies.
Perfect.
So I like to ride a lot of those. So yeah, it's nice. I usually like I just got back from the barn right now. Like I'll do like an hour of work in the morning from like 8 to 9, and then go to the barn from like 9 to 12 for 1, and then come back and work like for the rest of the day.
Wow.
So definitely feel lucky that I'm able to ride.
Are you in a
much.
warmer climate, or where are you located?
No, I'm in southeast Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So it's like 30 something degrees outside right now.
Yeah, that's
pretty
where
cold.
Yeah, us too. We
got
snow
snow
yesterday.
yeah.
A lot of snow.
Yeah, it actually, I mean, it's not sticking, but it snowed for like 10 minutes outside. We were like,
we had sticking
my God.
snow.
Where are you guys?
Ohio.
Yep.
Let me see. Let me just write down the ingredients here so I can read them quicker. Okay. 1 cup.
We started to talk about food. My stomach started to growl, and Trevor looked at me, and I'm like,
I heard it.
Slapped my arms on my stomach,
and I was like,
and I'm like,
was that me?
No, it was me. No, it was me. The loud one was me. I'm sorry.
No,
it was both of you. There was 2.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you can hear it in the microphone. It's bad.
That's bad. I mean, it's lunchtime, but my goodness, it was, yeah.
Okay, almost done.
It's okay. I want to ask about our face. It's so clear.
Okay, ready.
So, Lauren, I wanted to ask you about your face. Your face is so clear. And I mean, I'm sure that all of the healthy eating is probably due to that too. But do you have like anything that keeps your skin so that it's not so dry through the winter, or any tips that you have on that?
Sorry, the end of that cut out.
I always cut out for some reason.
That's really
Go
weird.
ahead.
Yeah.
How do you keep your skin hydrated through the winter when it's so dry?
I can't hear you again.
How do you keep your skin so hydrated through the winter when it's so dry?
No. I actually have this moisturizer, which when I first got it felt like way too thick, and I was like, I can't use this. I think it's like a CeraVe one. I just got it from the drugstore, but yeah, it works pretty well. But
Nice.
I think it wouldn't work if you have oily skin, because it probably would feel too heavy.
That's good to know. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into our Canter Banter section, and you're going to do the recipe. So, all right. You guys ready?
We're ready.
All right. And we're back. On this segment of Canter Banter, Lauren's going to share a recipe with us.
Yeah, so this is a great recipe, especially if you're in a dorm room and you're looking for something quick and easy to make as a snack. They're these energy balls. They have oats and nut butter, so they're a good source of carbohydrates and healthy fats, but they're also really tasty, like something that's like a little sweet treat. So they have 1 cup of rolled oats, half a cup of chocolate chips, half a cup of shredded coconut, 3/4 of a cup of any nut butter. So if you're allergic to peanuts, you could use almond butter or sunflower butter, and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup or honey. And you mix it all together. It takes a while to get it combined because of all those, like the peanut butter and honey. Once you get it fully combined, you could stick it in the fridge to chill it for a little bit so they're easy to roll into balls, but I just go ahead and roll them into balls and I store them in the fridge or the freezer. I actually like them better in the freezer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and they're really good, like little sweet treat if you're in the mood for something sweet in the middle of the day, but they're actually really healthy. So
And I feel like
sounds
you can
good.
customize them to yourself. I like to add cranberries in mine, or not
Definitely,
cranberries,
Okay,
craisins.
yeah, you could definitely, or do like raisins and nuts, or you could definitely throw it in there, whatever you want. But yeah, the base of like oats and nut butter and maple syrup, and then add in whatever other flavors you want.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
we'll have to make some.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with us.
You're
You
so
gave us
welcome.
such great information, and we'll
Excited for
definitely
you.
be
Yeah.
sharing that.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
We hope you enjoyed listening to our podcast and encourage you to share with all your equestrian family and friends. You can tune into the Late Night Riders podcast show every Friday night. Each episode will be uploaded exclusively on YouTube, where you can subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of our latest shows. Do you have a topic you'd like to discuss? We want to hear from you. You may email us at podcast@ramfence.com or feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you again for listening. Thank you, Lauren.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you guys so
Okay.
much. This has been awesome.